Olympic Sparring for 2018 Champions Will Rise tournament. If you've been to our tournament in the past, you know we've had different scoring systems. I kind of like the old school scoring of 1 or 2 points and that's it. No electronic gear, no extra points for extra stuff. Just kind of break it down to the raw fight. We're using the B.A.T.T judging system this year. All strikes will be worth 1 point, irregardless of where it strikes, as long as it's a legal technique. And everybody will be fighting multiple rounds, not double elimination, but there will be at least 2 or 4 rounds of either 60 or 90 seconds, depending on which division you're in. On that note, you'll see a TV monitor at every ring. That TV monitor will have something like this. It'll have a fighter, their name on this side, and then a fighter on this side is red and black. If it's a black belt division or our actual pro hit fights, we're using Amateur Hit League rules. So these are 10-second attack clocks. Those would count down from 10 to 0. And when it reaches 0, if the player has not kicked or punched, thrown an effective strike, or tried to score, then they would lose 10% of their bar graph. The judges are going to have something that looks like this. They'll all have either an iPad or an iPhone or some smart device, their own or ours, and they'll be able to score red or black as the match is happening. As they score the match, and we'll try and see if I can do all 3 of these at the same time. Normally we have a computer and 2 different or 3 different iPads, but it started, if I scored for red, I think they scored, let's say they scored a couple times. Then the display screen would have the red bar graph up just a little bit higher. You can't really see on this iPad. On the bottom, you see there are 3 different colors. There's a purple, green, and a yellow. What those show is that's one judge, purple judge, green judge, yellow judge. Every time that they score for one of the competitors, you'll know when they score and for whom visually. So you'll see what the judges are scoring as they're scoring it. Any match that you fight will have at least, or any round that you fight will have at least 2 matches. It would be either be 2 or 4. They're even numbers for a reason. I would rather have, if it's an odd number, you're going to have a winner most likely. Somebody will win, you know, two of the rounds, and one they'll lose. It's very seldomly do you get draws, but you can't have ties in this. But if they're even and it's 2-2 or 1-1, I would like that fighter to be able to fight to win, so they'll do an entire next round. If it was a 2-round match, they'll do a 3rd round. If it was a 4-round match, they'll do a 5th round, and they'll do the entire round, not a golden point, not 1 point wins or first one to strikes. If they fought for 60 seconds, 2 minutes, they'll fight another 60 seconds for the 3rd minute. One unique part of this system is if it, at the end of the 3rd round, is still tied, the audience will have the chance to decide the winner. It takes the judges completely out. Now, if somebody is a declared winner, they're a winner. But if you have 2 fighters that are that close, that tie, basically they go back and forth for 4 rounds and then a 5th round, and the judges, it's too close, nobody had a clear win. Instead of a judge or a center referee having to decide and just make a decision as to who it was, the audience gets to choose. Through that same judging system, they'll log in. They'll have about, I think it's 120 seconds to be able to log in and select who they think the winner is. They only get 1 vote, and we've the company that's developed this with me is they've developed voting systems, so they know how to. Somebody can't stack a ballot, but it'll make it kind of exciting. 2 sides to that. Number 1, yes, I've already heard from other school owners that say, well, that's not fair. If some school brings more students, then they're going to have. Well, yes, that's true. If they're bringing a whole lot of students, they're going to have a lot of people that have the ability to vote. Sure. So if you're the fighter, beat that person. Don't let it go to a tie. On the other hand, if I take a lot of my students and my parents are all there and they're all supporting my student, but they really know that the other guy probably deserves the win, they're not automatically going to vote for my guy just because they're from our school. They'll lean that way at the beginning, subconsciously, but they'll pick who they think was the more exciting or the better fighter. Anyway, it takes the hands. My goal is to take the judges and kind of eliminate them from the controversy. Let the audience have the controversy as it may be. Anyway, we're using turnout.com for registration. TOURNOUT, turnout.com. If you go there, you'll be able to have early bird registration, which I think it finishes on March 9th. And then by April 9th is our actual deadline to register for the tournament. We've got the 3 events: Olympic sparring, speed kicking, and power breaking. If you do all 3 events, then you get a free t-shirt if you sign up early. So hopefully you'll do all 3. Glad that you looked at this, and if you have any questions, just check the website out or go to the Amateur H.I.T League website, and you can get most of your Olympic style questions answered there.